Hello and welcome back to the Kundalini Yogini. My name is Prasiddha and I am an initiated tantric yogini, founder of Dharmic Healing and co-founder and professor at Ancient Soul Gardens. I want to talk to you guys about a topic that I think is really relevant for a lot of you guys who have been part of this community for years, or even those that came across this video. In the world of spiritual awakening, many of us in this space are self-identified or externally identified as empathic beings, right? As highly sensitive beings, highly sensitive persons, and even in psychological terms, many of us are considered or even diagnosed as neurodivergent humans. Some of you may know, if you follow my Instagram more closely, where I'm most active nowadays, that I have been sharing a new podcast that I'm a part of with my business partners called Tea in the Garden. And in our last episode, we talked about emotional alchemy and avoidance as highly sensitive people. And I really wanted to bring this topic to the forefront of my YouTube community as well, and talk to you guys, share my musings on the importance of emotional development, EQ, emotional maturity, and self-responsibility for those of us that are considered highly sensitive beings. Now, as such, a lot of times we talk about the gifts, right? Our strengths in feeling other people's emotions and having high levels of empathy, understanding, and compassion for people. And in my perspective, the way I would describe this is we experience a lot of oneness. We can sometimes be naturally tuned into experiencing a lot of oneness with the life around us, meaning our experience of self may not be limited to actually just our body and mind. It can be expanded outward into other living things, people, plants, and animals included, right? One of the many reasons I am also vegan is because of my high sensitivity toward animals and plants. So we talk a lot about this. We can understand ourselves in these terms. Now, if you are also one of these people, you will know that it is in many ways our karma in this lifetime as well as our gift, because our hypersensitivity can also create a lot of spiritual friction and mental identification that comes along with it. What do I mean by this? We may not struggle as much in identifying with our logic, what we may call the mind or the brain, but we can misunderstand that identifying with our emotions can be just as limiting, right? Now, emotional frequency in some ways can be argued to be a little bit higher than the logical mind, although that's a whole other discussion. They are still movements in consciousness. They are not what consciousness actually is. They are not actually the spirit or the soul. They are not actually the true capital S self. I talk a lot about this concept with my students in the Dharmic Healing path. By the way, for those of you who've been asking me about how to start studying Hinduism, how to start studying authentic yoga or Tantra or Ayurvedic medicine deeper, I get many messages about this on the daily and try my best to respond. We have our National Intuitive Academy of Ancient Healing Sciences now open. It is quite literally a real life Hogwarts. And in this academy, it is a year-long program where you can study the Dharmic traditions with me alongside other ancient lineages, including shamanism and hermeticism. So if you are a multi-dimensional spiritual being like me, who doesn't want to only approach something from one perspective and wants to honor many ancient traditions, learning in an authentic space and with a very loving and open-minded community, you have found your place. We invite you. The doors are open. We're still enrolling for our August class, and I would love to see some of you guys there. Oh, by the way, this is the lowest price point I have ever offered for any of my classes or programs. I highly encourage you all to take advantage of it. Those that have been waiting for this opportunity, I made this to serve you. I wanted this to be accessible for all of you guys, whether you're in different countries or you have a lower income. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to get trained in your sensitivity and turn it into a superpower, and also study deeply with integration these powerful healing lineages. Now, back to the note of, our strengths as empaths, the shadow being that we can still very much identify self as our emotional states versus our thoughts. Now, actually, arguably, they're very much one and the same, because our emotions are generated from our thoughts, and our thoughts can generate emotions. It can go both directions. And so a lot of the work we have to journey through, and the work that we journey through in this academy, is that we need to take radical responsibility for our emotional states. A lot of times, because we have such sensitivity, we experience things very intensely, yeah? Speaking from experience, because this has been the, karma of my existence since a child, and I don't say that with goodness or badness in it, but it has been my karma, my work in this life, is that I have such a deep intensity of my emotional world. I have a Jeshta moon, for those that may be familiar with Vedic astrology, so that kind of says it all. Scorpio moon. Very deep, very intense, very, the depths of everything, yeah? And when we feel things this way, you could understand that it also begins to become harder to separate ourselves from our emotional states, right? So when we're wandering in the modern world as a highly sensitive person, it is one of the most challenging things we can experience, because we are being inundated, right, with all of the other humans around us, the animals around us, the noises, the sensory inputs, the sounds, the happenings, the tears, the joys, the laughs, the pains, the accidents, the death that we see all around us all the time. So not only are we battling, in a sense, with our own inner ups and downs, our self-created ups and downs, but we're also battling with the ups and downs of the external others that aren't so external for us as highly sensitive people, right? If we don't put in serious work to train our sensitivity, it will consume us. It will consume us. Some of my old videos on my channel I made years ago that are the most popular today are videos about being an empath and making sure to protect your energy. And why so many people are drawn to videos like this is because we know, right? As empaths and highly sensitive people, we know that we can feel when we walk in a room and we get blasted by somebody's negative space. We get disturbed by things that other people don't even notice, right? Our auras can be very susceptible to violation. So we have to train like Jedi, like wizards and witches at Hogwarts, truly, to hone our energy field, to fortify our energy fields, to transform and alchemize our intense sensitivity into our power. This does not mean we're running from our emotions or sensitivity or numbing it in any way, but actually alchemizing it, meaning we are transforming, we are transmuting energy. We are accepting it totally for what it is and then doing something with it, doing something about it. And that's where and why powerlessness can become powerfulness. So if you want to learn these skills, which I highly recommend that you learned if you haven't yet, or you don't feel quite capable enough of doing it on your own yet, by the way, that's okay. We are meant to have support and help and community in our growth and transformation, in our journeys. We're not meant to do it alone. Then National Intuitive Academy is literally built for you. Please reach out to me about it. I'm going to drop the link right below this video in the description. You can check out all the details of the academy. If you have any questions, please DM me on Instagram. And if you're ready to, you can apply freely at the link below. So I hope this video has helped you to, one, not only feel maybe more seen or understood in yourself as a sensitive being, but also to recognize where we have to take responsibility and authority over our lives, over our energies and emotional states, and what is possible as a result of that. What is possible as a result of this work, guys, is one, you don't have to continuously face burnout in your life, in your relationships, in your trying to function like a normal person in this world. First of all, you ain't normal. You're not meant to function like a normal person in this world. However, I want to support you in being able to move successfully in the world, aligned to your purpose, and allowing your gifts to be shared without constantly feeling like you're taking on other people's stuff, other people's karmas. That is not the way to do it. And if you don't learn from a lineage, a lot of times you are going to pick up karma, you know what I mean? You are going to pick up other people's energies, and sometimes without even knowing it. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You absolutely can maintain your sensitivity and step into a different level of powerfulness than you have maybe ever tasted before. And I'm speaking from experience. You know, I've been in this space the last 5 years at least, maybe 10, and only honing it further as I go, of course. It's an always evolving journey. And I marvel at where I'm at and where I used to be. And while I'm far from perfect and definitely get triggered still, there's a dramatic difference from the powerfulness and the anchor that I have inside of myself now, and the ability to then show up for others in greater service and greater impact, right? And I think that's the goal that most of us have inside of our hearts, inside of our souls. So I want to support you in that too. Please let me know in the comments also what questions you may have related to this topic, what kind of branch you might want me to go off in the next videos. And even if it's not related, let me know what topics you'd like to hear about next. Trying to keep YouTube rolling again, so do let me know. I'm sending you guys so much love. It's always something I feel such gratitude for, coming back to YouTube, because this is where I started and I have never forgotten where I've come from, and I never will. So I'm always grateful for this community and those of you that have been with me for the last 8-9 years or so, which is nuts. So thank you for being here. I hope you guys are enjoying the energies of Cancer season. We're about to have a big full moon in a few days. On that note, actually, if you're still listening, we have a free full moon ceremony this Monday night at 5 EST. If you would like to join, it is totally free and open to the public, a beautiful gathering space for people from many lineages who are, you know, honoring the celestial energies together and working, you know, doing the actual shadow work and alchemy together. So if you'd like to join, I'll put the link down below as well, and I will see you all on the next video. Thank you.